And we're now live.
Hello.
Right, so I'll just do a countdown and I'll come back to us. Hello. I love it. I love it. It's great.
I wanted more and loads of cheers.
Oh, you're not getting do you know that music, that countdown music, that for some reason
I was away.
I love it in the headphones, right? The bass is really quite strong, and it's but I keep thinking Lady Gaga's Telephone. You know that it's that rhythm. It's like it's just speed up a bit.
Like Poker Face and all that nonsense.
Aye, I think it was Telephone. She sang it. Telephone me or whatever.
I wouldn't admit to that. I wouldn't admit to that.
Oh, hi. What's wrong with Gaga? Like?
No, nothing. Some of her stuff's all right, but
no, it's all right. It's all right. All of it. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it at all. It's quite cool.
Is there anybody actually watching this now?
I have no idea. No idea. It'll just come up and say whatever it's going to say, whatever it's going to do.
One new subscriber.
Don't know. Anyway, right. Okay. So Lynsey Paterson is a world-renowned, well, a couple of folk in the world can, drummer, percussionist, and teacher. But I don't know if it's in that order, but yeah. So
I don't even know the order it's in. Depends on what day it is and what mood I'm in.
Absolutely. Right, Lynsey, the crunch question, what age were you when you got into this? Or what even got you interested in what you do?
So my dad used to play in a function band.
Right.
And I was like, I want a shot on the drums. And it was from a young age, but I didn't start actually playing until I went to high school and had the opportunity. And even then at high school, we were sort of in between drum teachers, so I never got proper lessons. It was on the Thursday lunchtime drum club, one of the geography teachers. That's how I started my basic geography.
The drum club?
It was a drum club at high school. So, but I knew before that I want to play the drums.
Aye, so you done that from very small.
Aye.
Yeah.
I think I started the pipe band round about starting high school as well.
Right.
So it was both sort of like at the same time. One of my pals, wee brothers, was in the pipe band, so I was like, right, I want to go to that too.
Right. So you never fancied the pipes then? It was just straight to the drums.
Well, I didn't fancy the pipes, but I remember when I was at my granny's in Cooper when I was about 3 or 4, the pipe band used to play up the street, and I'd have the wooden spatula out.
Well, do you know it's funny because I can remember the same I can remember being 5, 6-year-old, and I lived in Pennycoot in this sort of called the square thing, and there was a big grass area. And one of my neighbours, it was only like 3-year-old, but because my brother played in the Boys Brigade pipe band, and there was a couple of other folk in the street, but they played in different pipe bands. And I had this wooden rocking chair that I used to tie upside down with a belt around my neck, right? My mum's knit needles and barter then living daylights like this, just marching around the square. And I can remember it as if it was yesterday. This thing, that's what I want to do. It's like, yeah.
That was when we played with the pipe band as well.
Right.
I don't know why they used to march up the main street.
Probably showing off their trophies because, I mean, when I was younger,
they were successful back then.
Yeah, very much. Aye. Was it Cooper Boys Brigade, the band? I'm trying to think.
No, I think it was just maybe Cooper and District. I don't know.
Aye, maybe.
I didn't really pay attention properly until I was actually in the pipe bands and
they
were going about, but I don't think there is a Cooper pipe band anymore.
So what was the first pipe band that you joined in?
Kinross and District.
Right. So
So
they
that's
were
when
quite
I started.
prolific in their day. They were quite. They won a few trophies in their time.
They were in grade 2 when it started,
Right.
but sort of like grade 2, grade 3.
Yeah.
So the leading drummer there, Winnie, well, it was Winnie Crawford, but back in the day it was Winnie Curry.
Right.
She's sort of like responsible for all my rudiments and everything.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So, aye.
And
And
what
then
were they? Were they what grade was that then? 4, 3,
they were grade 2, and
grade
then
2.
they dropped to grade 3. So when I was
Right.
kicking about, it was grade 3.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Hard work, MSRs, medley.
Medleys.
Yeah, they're fine till you have to get them in the brain. It's like, oh
Got
Jesus.
dropped many a time as well.
Did you?
Oh,
There's
aye.
yeah. There's an old saying.
Probably. Maybe not you, but
There's an old saying in one of the bands I was in. Like, you didn't want his kilt. Why? Because it's got a rope mark on it, and it took me years to work out what that meant. Like, oh, he's been dropped that many times. You stand at the side with the rope mark. So yeah, it's
aye, I'm
some.
sure it's a lot. But hey,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
got where I am now, and it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
It
So
made me work
how long were you in the pipe band?
Oh, phew. I was probably in the pipe band right up until I went to college, I reckon. So I was 16, just
Right.
go 17 when I went to college. So
Yeah.
4 years, 5 years maybe,
Yeah.
something like that. And then throughout life on and off in a couple of
Aye.
different bands, but
Right.
nothing major.
Nothing major.
A couple of bands,
Right.
and that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's hard now because it's it's so much commitment, and all the hard work gets done in the winter. And
Yes.
I've got central groups in the winter, with a young team, so I'm 3 nights a week at work. So I wasn't going to get to practices. So
Right.
like there's no, and that's needs to go, because it wasn't fair on the band either. You know, if you're
No.
not doing work in the winter with everybody else, then you're kind of playing catch up all the time. So
Yeah.
it is a
Absolutely.
commitment.
Yeah. I used to find that too, because obviously being down in the borders, I wanted to compete quite seriously. So I always had a long distance to go, at least at least an hour and 50 minutes drive. And even like when I played at Pitlochry, when I moved back down here in 2007, I was still going to Pitlochry 3 times a week. And it used to frustrate me because
That's a trek, because you're an hour and a half away from my house, and then it's another hour up to Pitlochry.
what was it? It was 148 miles each way. So just short of 3 hours drive it used to take me, because the time I hit the rush hour. But I used to say, right, I need to be at I need to be at band practice ready at 7 o'clock. And I was always there, probably 10 to quarter to 7. And it used to frustrate me when some people that live quite close walked in at 7:30. Like, where have you been?
Aye.
You know, oh, I was eating my tea. Yeah.
I used to eat my tea in the car.
Yeah, well, I was like that. And I think, I used to leave at like 3:30 in the afternoon, scream up to Pitlochry, and do band practice. So you're there till like 9:30, 10 o'clock before you leave. So it was like 1:30 when I was getting back in the morning.
Aye, it's crazy. I
Aye,
used to do that when I played with Whitburn Band, the brass
Mhm.
band.
Yeah.
It was like 2007, because I was quite late in passing my driving test. So
Okay.
on a Sunday, I used to get like a bus for Kelty through into Edinburgh, and then a bus for Edinburgh out to Whitburn. So I'd spend half the day travelling
Aye.
but one of the best bands in the world, eh? So
Yeah.
it was worth it.
Absolutely.
For that experience of doing that. So
And as you say, there's the very thing. It is worth it, because when you've got that commitment, you are totally committed.
yeah,
And sometimes I didn't feel the distance. It was only like at the end of the year, looking how many miles I put in my car. I put 42,000 miles in my car. And I thought, cool, driving up and down there 3 times a week, which
can you still hear me? Because I'm frozen.
I can still hear you. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
that'll come. Yeah, it will come back. It does that. Yeah, yeah. So I take it then. So you went obviously then for college. Did you go to uni to like study music? Was that the thing?
Well, I went straight from school to Perth College to study. It was rock music studies on the first year that I started.
Right.
Then they hadn't finished writing the degree course by then, but then it was HND music performance, and then I got onto the final year of the degree, so
Right.
came out with a Bachelor of Arts in music performance.
Right. Perfect. Perfect.
Wee me that wouldn't make it anywhere and didn't
Aye.
stick into the school. I was terrible at the school.
Oh, really?
Absolutely awful. Oh, I was a terrible child.
Yeah. And now you can't get now we can't keep
Now
you
I
away
can't
from
get away for the places.
it.
Oh, really cheap.
Aye. Yeah.
But it helps me kind of relate to some of the more challenging children that I teach. That
Yeah.
some of them schools just no for them, and classes just aren't for them. And they come with
Yeah.
their lesson and they're like, oh, I was chucked out of this class and everything. I was like, well, so was I when I was a kid. Just
Aye.
didn't do it. Just keep your head down and get on with
Yeah.
it. I'm
That's right. Yeah.
speaking from experience. So
Yeah. I mean, that's again, I suppose that's like teaching with the pipe bands. You know, like you get there and you're dealing with youngsters, and then you're like, right, okay, the band, the numbers are dwindling. The usual thing. You've got teenage lasses, teenage laddies. They're starting to work, so they want to move away. But lasses, they get a boyfriend, and then it's like, no, I'm not coming to band practice. So now you get a new influx. And the most frustrating thing used to be when there were kids there, and you would get them in when they were like, can we bring them 8 and 9, 10? Like, no, their hands need to develop because their hands really stop. They're still growing at 10-year-old. Especially for drumsticks, because our drumsticks in the pipe band are quite thick. And I used to think, oh, do you really want to be? And some kids went, no, no. My mum or my dad, they wanted to be in the band, so they kind of got us to, you can't hear me. Oh, that's strange. That's very strange. Why has that happened? No, you should still be able to hear me. Is it you or is it me? No. Anybody, it's, and if somebody can put in the comments if you can hear me or if you can't hear me. That's really annoying me if you can't hear me. Yeah. Give me a second. Let me just check my settings just in case I've hit something. No, this should still be working. Yep. It's maybe your end, I think. It's your end, I think. That's bizarre. It's bizarre. Yeah. Your microphone's muted. Unmute your microphone. Wait a minute, let me just mute mine. Is that any better? You're on mute. You're on mute. Right, wait a minute. Right. Yeah. Your mic. The joys of technology, innit? Oh, if anybody can't hear me, it's like, yeah. Let me just send her a message. You've muted your mic. You muted your mic. Oops. This is going to be fun. Oops. You're late. I nearly hit the wrong thing there. What have I done? I'm still there. Right, let's just head back in there. Sometimes this is the most frustrating thing ever. Right, so I want to go back into there. I take it. Can't hear me at all. No. Anything? Your mic's on mute. Your mic's on mute. My mic's on mute. Your mic is on mute. That's better. You've unmuted your microphone. Yeah. Try that again. No, I've lost you. I've lost you. Yeah. I can't. I can't see or hear you. Hello? Oh, that's it. I can hear you clicking.
I'm unmuted.
That's better.
You're
I can hear you.
muted.
No, I'm unmuted.
Yeah.
I'm muted still.
It's got the wee mute thing.
Oh. No, I should still be alright. Especially if I do that. This is a disaster, isn't it? Nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah.
Still showing you as muted.
Oh, that's very strange. My top mic's muted. Where are we?
Let me see if I can get on the
Yeah, let me just start that. So nothing. I can hear you.
Got you down as muted.
No, that's that camera. Yeah, it's just bizarre. That's really bizarre. Really bizarre. Right, okay, give me a second. Why has that done that? Why has that done that? Let me just re-enter.
Right, it's not letting me on.
Hold on, stay there. Stay there. Stay there.
This didn't happen in the practice.
Oh, it didn't at all. Am I still on mute? Surely not. There's nothing showing me that it's muted. Lynsey. This is a disaster.
Right.
Right, what's happened there?
I've got you now on the iPad, so I'm going to come off.
Right, John can hear both, so it must have been your end. It's that stupid. See, IMAX, get rid of it, chuck it in the bucket. Keeps the shite.
Right, I've got you now on the iPad.
Right, that's better. Thank you, John. Yep.
Well.
Must be somebody you know then. Yeah. Right, let me just.
It's the iMac. It's just been a bit stupid.
Yeah.
So
See, in the iMac, you're still in here.
Well, that's because it's given me that stupid rainbow circle of doom that's not letting me leave.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's out.
I'm out now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Cool.
So where were we? We're talking about teaching youngsters, and it's great when they want to be there, but it's when like mum and dad didn't want to. So I used to always give the youngsters the option. I say, I'm like, do you really want to be here? Like, no. I said, right. But if I didn't, mum, dad, or granddad didn't want me to be there, so I said to them, right, leave it with me. So I'd go in, and I would just say to the mums or dads or the grannies, I'm saying, like, I'm sorry, their hands are underdeveloped at the moment. So, I don't know what you've done.
I'm here.
Your cameras went off. That's it. You're back. Yeah. See,
I was just joining the comments, so in case I need to speak to it, and in case I need to bring anybody.
Aye, yeah. That's the palm of your hand. That's right. Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, I used to always say to the parents, like, you know, that they're not quite ready. They're not making it. They're not making it, and the kids used to love it. Used to love it. Yeah. So after you've done your degree and stuff, obviously you knew then that you wanted to have a life in was it percussion per se, or just drumming, or just
drum? I studied drum kit, and drum kit is my main instrument. I'm rubbish at tuned percussion. I teach it, but I choose not to gig with it because I don't know what happens when I go on stage and try and play a xylophone. It just doesn't work very well.
What about other musical instruments like piano or guitar, stuff like that? No?
No, I mean a tiny wee bit, a couple of chords here and there, but nothing that I'm completely accomplished on anyway.
Right, yeah. I keep forgetting I can change the camera angle.
That's just me that's on the screen now.
That's right, yeah, that's us again there. So yeah, aye, but yeah, it's strange though. You see, I was the same. Like the piano, and I didn't really take that up till I was like 42, 43.
The piano.
You know? Yeah. And I went all out and I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to buy a cheap like keyboard that's 60, 70 quid. I went out and bought a Tyrus. It was like, well, it was £5 short of £7,000.
Gee, was that big thing with his big speakers and stuff?
I still have it, and I'm thinking, do you know, I thought, no, if I'm going to do this, I need to get real into this. So that's what I did. So yeah, just all good fun.
Oh, there it goes again, bloody thing.
Computers. I'm sorry, I'm just adding in the video because I want to play the bit about you know, with the like. So when you're dealing with school, that's the thing I was going to ask you. So who decides what piece of music they're going to play? Is it in the curriculum, or do you decide with other teachers? Or
Is it in what way? In the percussion ensemble?
yes, yeah, yeah,
That's me that decides. I like that one.
right, okay,
Let's do it.
right,
And I find that a lot of the things that I like, there isn't arrangements for them at the moment. So then I have to call on Iona to
yeah,
arrange things for me, and she's like, "Here we go again."
aye,
So
yeah, yeah. Because I'm just going to play this wee clip here. This is a wee clip when you must have been somewhere over the rainbow when you're playing like the triangle and that. It's
that
quite.
was that in lockdown when we first started with all the technology, and I was still just girdling about, so it
Aye,
might not be great.
I'm just going to add it here. We can talk to it. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Aye, that was when we were doing all that clapping for the nurses and all that thing.
Yeah, yeah, aye. I just want to play that short clip. Enjoy it. You do other things. But it's the xylophone is quite clever, and I'm going to come up with that piece later on. Is that from now on? I mean, that is one clever concept there.
That's
and
actually based on like one of the pipe bands did it in lockdown with
Right.
Cammy Barnes.
Yeah.
So that arrangement is that arrangement that they did, so it's different from what's in the film.
Aye.
But it just works.
It does work.
That was one of my mental. I really want to do this. Iona, can you arrange this? I want to have pipes and I want to have the choir in it as well.
Yeah.
And she was just like, here we go. I've got a very understanding boss as well when I say, like, we're going to do this at the concert and I'm going to need this and I'm going to need mics for this and I'm going to need that. And he's just like, whatever. Because I think everybody's used to me now that I'll try and come up with something that's a bit different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But you've got to try these things. So
absolutely. I'll come back to that bit about from the one. But there's a part that you did brass. You played percussion with brass bands, didn't you? Because I've seen it when you were over in Switzerland.
Yeah, 2011 that was.
So European Championships or something, was it?
Yeah, European Championships 2011 in Montreux in Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland. Nice. I love Switzerland. I love Switzerland.
Yeah. Well, the concert hall was just along the road from the Freddie Mercury statue.
Right. Okay.
So a lovely bit of town.
Yeah.
It was good. What an experience. There must have been, the hall was full. The hall was full. There must have been about 1,000 folk or more in that hall.
Yeah, the Swiss, they love their music. Absolutely love it.
And I think it's going to be there again in a couple of years' time.
Right, yeah. There's I do a wee thing with a wee band, or did a wee thing with a band from the Canton region, the northeast region of Switzerland, and they're called Swiss United Maniacs. And
a pipe band.
Aye, near St. Gallen, and it's amazing. And they do their annual concert. But they showed me, we were in St. Gallen itself, and was Miranda and Alan. I love that. Typical Swiss names there, Alan and Miranda. And I said to Alan, like, so the cathedral sequence, yes, but so is the concert hall. So I'm looking about thinking, where's the concert hall? And then he looks and there's this huge big square, like George Square. And he says, look at them railings. It looks like it's going down to a subway. No, it goes down to a theatre that's underground. Right. And it's just like a huge big oyster shell, but the acoustics is phenomenal.
Oh, wow.
But while we did that, we went actually into St. Gallen Cathedral, and it's stunning. Everything's gold. The organ, and it's the one and only few times that I had hairs on my arms, my neck stood up, but I was petrified at the same time because the choir was in there practicing, and it was quite spooky, but it was nice at the same time. But it's like, oh my God, yeah, it was just like, I absolutely panicked about it. Aye, yeah. But so, do you not play with the brass band at all now?
No, I'm in brass band retirement now.
Right.
I mean, the thing is, it's the kind of same as a pipe band. It takes a lot of commitment. In the run up to a competition, you're rehearsing every single night.
Aye.
If you're wanting to stay playing at the top level. So I don't have the time. It's just it's crazy because I've got to. What I wasn't getting was a sort of work-life balance, and and all my hobbies were just music.
All the way.
All my job was music, and I was just working non-stop, and then going to like band. So it was having a bit of a knock-on effect on my health and that as well. So something to get.
Aye.
Plus, I'm not getting any younger either.
That's true. I was going to say that, but I didn't really want to. But yeah. And obviously, just on there, I was just going to touch on that. So obviously, you've went through your troubles and tribulations with your health over the last few years. But yeah, but you're obviously fit and healthy now.
Well, aye. I mean, there's still a few health scares, but losing weight is helping a lot. So
yeah.
So that's good. So it's still a work in progress.
Yes.
But it we're getting there.
Aye.
So
yeah.
Slowly, small steps.
Aye. I was just thinking there about back at the school things there. So do you have quite a wide area to cover, or is it one school you go to, or?
I'm in 9 different schools, so I goes up as far as Aberfeldy and Pitlochry and down as far as Kinross. So I cover the whole region.
Right.
So it's pretty mental. So Auchterarder, Kinross, Aberfeldy, Pitlochry, Percussionist, everywhere. Aye.
Everywhere north of you,
Everywhere.
Yeah, because I mean, people don't realise Percussionist is quite a big place.
Yeah. So the furthest north school I'm in, I think, is Aberfeldy. I think that's it's sort of north and out a wee bit. So it is because it takes me about an hour and 15 minutes from here to get to Aberfeldy, so it's only an hour to get to Pitlochry. So it is kind of out that wee windy roadway.
Aye.
And then it's good when I finish at Kinross because then I'm just 10 minutes up the road.
Perfect.
So,
that's right.
That's good.
So you obviously know where you're on certain days.
Aye. Unless like this term we've got concerts and stuff, lunchtime concerts. So I need to swap my days around a wee bit, so that I still see everybody.
Sure.
But generally, I stick to the same plan.
Right.
It makes it easier for the kids as well because then they're like, I don't know what day. When's my lesson? It's like it's every such and such a day. It's only the time that changes.
Absolutely. So if you can hear the background noise, only one of my neighbours, his pals, come in with the noisiest exhaust. Like you never hear them.
I can't hear them.
Right. Yeah. The one thing I was going to ask you, right? So the usual thing. Have you ever had any mishaps? Like when they're playing, or where you're like, oh no,
Loads.
Loads.
And for playing wise.
Oh,
aye. For when I was way back at school, one thing, when I used to play in the music festival, I was playing a snare drum solo, and the stick came flying out my hand away across the other side of the stage, and I'm like, wee second or third year, and I'm like, shit. So I just had to stop playing, go across, pick the stick up, go back and just continue. Still won the class, but I was like, I can't believe that's actually happened to me.
That when you said keep the drum solo, that's made me laugh because obviously I know you, I've met you, I know that you're quite close to the ground anyway, so it's like that poor drum must have been raising the street.
It was on a stand. It was an orchestral drum, so it wasn't. But there's been loads of stick drops and just things going wrong. I mean, the most recent one was a few weeks ago when I was doing a show, and I've got this foot switch now because I just scan the music onto the iPad and just change it with my heel on like my left heel so that it just turns the page. So when I've got a stupid page turn, I can still keep playing. So I'd mishit it and then went to do it again to turn, and it turned about 4 pages at once, and I'm like, no. So and then I was frantically pressing it to try and go back the way because I wasn't wanting to guddle about with my foot and have to take it off the hi-hat and everything. I'm like, geez, this is
so obviously when you're conducting, so that's what's happening, is it? You've got
When
that
I'm
lot.
conducting, I tend to just use the iPad because I can press it. It's a bit easier. But when
Aye,
I'm playing and I've got both hands going,
aye,
it's hard to then keep playing and then press the screen or turn a page.
right,
So with the
aye,
page turner, I can just kind of, I have it at the side of my hi-hat pedal and I can
aye.
just kind of flick my heel round and press it. And I just didn't quite manage it one night.
Oh, that would panic me.
It's still a new thing. I'm still getting used to it, but it's just like, geez, oh.
I think the worst thing that happened to me when I was playing is, again, I was just young. I was only 14, and it was Edinburgh at the Royal British Legion, and I was in a British Legion pipe band at the time, so it was like the Royal British Legion solos, and it was in first time. I was so nervous. I was fine, and I remember it, the adjudicator was Bob Montgomery, who was the leading drummer at the time, the Lothian Borders Police, and I'm there, march on, get ready, and I didn't know what to say 1, 2 or whatever. I let the piper do that, and he went roll 1, 2. I didn't get that far. Vomit,
Oh
projectile
no.
over the drum, and I was mortified, absolutely mortified. Yeah,
Was that was that because you were nervous?
yeah, it was just nerves that got to me. Yeah, it was the first time I'd ever played solo, and I thought, oh, this is just shocking. Yeah,
I never
so
used to be bothered when I was younger. Well, not as much, but see as you get older,
yeah,
I'm like, geez, oh, my legs are shaking and everything. I'm like, what's going on here?
aye, yeah, yeah. I think you put more pressure on yourself. You know,
Aye, I mean, I've always put a lot of pressure on myself anyway.
yeah,
So, but I
yeah,
think more so now. I'm like, because there was a while there, a few years ago, sort of like coming out of lockdown and that.
mhm,
I stopped playing completely, everything.
yeah, yeah,
I was just teaching because I'd lost confidence.
right,
So I was like, I'm not playing. So I'm
yeah,
slow, and so it's just kind of this year type thing. I've been slowly getting back to proper playing.
yeah, yeah,
So aye,
yeah. Obviously, that's not
because
pipe band.
once you have that attack of the confidence going,
There's
it's
nothing
hard to
worse.
get it back. It's
It
hard
is.
to get
Yeah,
it back.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're
I
getting
think
there with that as well. So
I think the other mishap I had is when I was leading drummer at Pitlochry, it was pre-filing games, and usual thing, and Dante drums, and we had the torque limiter, so you knew when that clicked, that was it. The skin was just, you know. But me being me, thought, oh, my drum just sounds a wee bit. I just give it a little bit. 10 minutes before I went on, drum was fine. Just actually didn't get. Well, we weren't going up to line at the point. We were just going to final tuning, and next thing the skin popped, and I just looked and I thought, I didn't bring a spare drum, so
that
I
means
just.
you would have been dropped that day.
Well, I dropped myself. And I thought, no, wait a minute, I'm leading drummer. And then luckily, it was one of the guys from some other band. He just handed me his drum and said, on you go. And that was it. And like, I was nervous, but the rest of the core were, I unsettled the rest of the core, you know. But walking up that line, we just calmed down. I said, look, sorry, that was my fault. And then obviously, then Christy that run the band said to me later on, never do that again. If your skin pops, you just take a drum off somebody else and just go.
Aye.
You know, yeah, aye. Which in hindsight, aye, but it's like, oh, but I do what, you know, that's a shame. I'm dealing with youngsters here, you know. It's just it's one of these things. One of these things, aye, yeah. But so when you're doing stuff at schools, right? So when you get an influx of new pupils, as it is, so are they already taking part in music class, or is it something they put to them and it's something they want to do?
I have a recruitment video that I send a link to all the teachers, because generally I recruit from S1 because I'm not in that many primary schools.
Right.
So, and some of the high schools that I'm at, if they've came from a primary school that doesn't get any tuition, they've not had the opportunity to learn the drums. So here's kind of their first opportunity.
Yeah.
But I have a waiting list of nearly 100 people. There's just so much demand for it, and we just don't have the resources to deliver it all. Really, it's we need more people.
Absolutely, absolutely, especially as 100. Yeah,
Aye.
yeah, yeah. See, where I am down here, we didn't have anything like that at all. It's all stopped. It's just completely stopped.
Yeah, it's a shame. It seems to be the art seems to be taking a right battering at the moment. Which is a shame, because there's lots of evidence out there to prove that playing a musical instrument helps a child's mental health, well-being, all that kind of stuff.
Yep, yep. I mean, I was like you. I was saying from a young age, I knew that's all I wanted to do. And when I was at school, what career do you want? I said, want to be a drummer. And they used to laugh, say, like, you can't make a career out of drumming, you know? And
My
then,
music teacher told me that I wouldn't get into college because thousands of people from all over the world apply for it, and I was just like, "You just watch me, just watch me."
yeah, that's right. I mean, I ate, slept, and dreamt drumming. That's all I did. Um, and I think for me, I was really lucky. That when I won the first world championship in 2000, the drumming, I don't know where it came from, but the local newspaper got it and they run it first front page. There, and ironically, my wife at the time, she was a piper, but
Right.
she was playing, but we only had one tenor drummer, and she's like, "I'll learn that." I thought, "There's no chance." There's 3 days to world championships. Eh? She did it,
Aye.
and they became the best bass, but she did it. So of course the paper made this big thing of it, and I got a phone call then from my headmaster, and he was as proud as anything. Guy Hector Sutherland, the late Hector Sutherland, he was a phenomenal. I never got into trouble at school. I was just went with the flow. I never sky.
Aye. That's what
Honestly,
you're telling us.
it wasn't my favorite place to be. But I skived once in my lifetime, and I've never been so bored. So I just like, "Do you know what? I'll just sell this out." And yet I didn't take music at school. I didn't want to take music because it's going to have to be piano, violin, recorder. That's not for me. It's not for me. It's like, no, I need to make noise. I need pots, pans, whatever. Just give me something. Um, but yeah, the headmaster was like so proud. And then when I won it, my second one, he was like, and I lived in the same village as me. He was round there. It was like great. And then when I started to learn to play piano, I wrote a suspect, and it's called Hector Sutherland Esquire. And I thought, for his birthday, I know his birthday's coming up, thinking he was 70. So I went round and I said, "Hector, here, listen to this CD." And he goes, him and his wife done like country dancing. So, and it's so, of course, it's just babe was there. He says, "That's a nice tune. What's it called?" I says, "I've called it Hector Sutherland Esquire after you." And honestly, Lynsey, you think I'd given the man the winning lottery ticket. and and I didn't realize at the time he was 90. I thought he was 70. He was 90.
Oh,
You know,
well, that's good for him for
aye,
aging well.
phenomenal. Aye, phenomenal. Yeah, Hector was extremely proud, and every time he seen me, he's like, "How's the pipe band going? Are you still teaching? Are you still doing this?" Like, actually, no. And it's like 2013. That was the last time when we won the Worlds with West Coast Highlanders, which wasn't planned. It was just meant to be guys that former champions. Let's just get together, just have a day out, and you go and you win. You're like, "Oh no, yeah." There's a bit of me, a little bit of me feels guilty, thinking, "Oh, we cheated another band out." I thought, well, no, really.
Well,
You
no,
know,
because you still had to put the work in to get there.
and I think the first time it we practiced, because I only got the email like 5 weeks before the Worlds. I'm thinking, no, this is just. I thought, actually, what, it's a day, just day it. So the
Aye.
first time the band actually practiced was 2 nights before the Worlds.
Was
You
that the
know,
gas? Was that the gas band?
no, that was it. The band called the West Coast Highlanders that David Ogilvy put together, and I just looked and I just laughed because I remember standing at practice at the University of Glasgow, thinking, well, I'm just looking at the calibers of players, and I thought, they're all former Grade 1 and Grade 2 players. We had 1 or 2 players in that had never competed before, because we brought people in from America, from Switzerland, from Germany, Austria, England, France. We just took people and just made a band. And then, of course, then we won. It was just like grand. But after that, that was me. I came home and I said, right, that's it. That's 3 world titles. I'm done. I've achieved what I want to do. And I stopped and I put my drumsticks away. And then the only time I took them back out again is when we joined together at the band that we went up to Calendar to practice at.
Oh, aye.
Aye, that's aye, yeah. And I,
Oh,
we were saying the other night, we think about it, that was 5 years ago, or 5 years ago when we went to Stornoway, but 6 years ago since the band started.
It doesn't seem like that long ago.
No, I know, no. But I mean, we were lucky with the weather. I mean, even the crossing going across Folk City, that crossing, it's 50 odd minutes or 2 hours 50 minutes. It's going to be rough. I could not believe how calm that. It was like a mirror all the way there, and then coming back, just exactly the same. Like, this is just phenomenal.
I mean, we all got into trouble for not being at the ferry terminal when we were in the pub.
That's right. Oh yeah. Yes. Really?
Really, guys? Really?
Yeah, he came round to me kicking off, saying like, "Yes, can it be happening? Can it be happening?" I thought, well, "What are you going to do?"
It's like it's a pipe band. That's what we do.
That's exactly what I do. I can't say it's that. By the way, it's a miracle the ferry goes. You can't have a pint because what they're going to do the first thing on the ferry, they're going to go and
A
have a
pint.
drink. Well, they're not playing for 2 days. It doesn't matter.
I know.
Just yeah. The least said about that, the better. Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious when he came in.
Oh, yeah. He was absolutely spitting tacks. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we're
I
all adults, we're not going to get absolutely hammered and not be able to play. I
Yeah.
mean, we all played on the ferry as well. The band played on the ferry too, so I don't know what.
It was a funny thing. He like on the band, they'll need a rest and all that. Like let's play on the ferry. I mean, obviously, I didn't play on the ferry. I'm not playing. I'm be playing off Saturday. No, let the band do it. It's like, yeah.
Well, that was funny. Jeez. It was just as well that he was staying actually up in that chalet or wherever it was, because
we were in 5-star.
on the Saturday night, once we'd come back for the pub, we had a party in that wee living room place, and we had all the drums and everything going as well, so he would have went totally rage at us.
I came across that, didn't I?
3 o'clock in the morning, we were like, Rah!
I remember it though, because you lot were all in there. Like, what was it like? It was like what was it like? Like a communal sort of
like a wee lounge type thing.
And then that lounge thing, and then I heard the noise, and I thought, well, because I thought I was going to be sleeping in the same room as everybody else, not realizing we were getting the 5-star luxury treatment.
We were stuck in the bunkhouse.
And I thought, right, I'll need to go up and see what's going on, and it's like, yeah, that's fine, yeah. And it's like, that's 3 o'clock in the morning, it's fine. In fact, did somebody not come across and say, that's enough now, guys, you need to stop? Like,
it was very specific who was in the next chalet thing in the bunkhouse, because there was me and Tammy that were staying in that bunkhouse as well, and the wee tenor drummer, and we were all partying. And she was like not having any of it.
No, it's just it's just like, it's only basically us here anyway, so it won't matter.
No, we're on an island in the middle of nowhere.
That's right, exactly. And somebody wants to complain, come and enjoy us. There's plenty of drink. We'll give you a drink.
No, there's certainly.
That was an experience.
Oh, that was good times. That was good.
Because I remember, when we left Stornoway, we went to the Callanish Stones, and then we went to that beach.
We were all rough as anything.
But that beach though, that water was turquoise, and I think I'm going to go for a swim, but I didn't. But I thought, right, I went over, so obviously I touched that, and I think that's Atlantic Ocean. And then when we drove back, we got home like 9 hours later. The first thing I did when I dropped my brother, I went down in Eyemouth to the North Sea and put my hand in it. I said, that's it, I've done the North Sea and the Atlantic Ocean in one day. It's like, it was just phenomenal.
I was hating life that day. I was like, I can't believe I'm this rough and we're going sightseeing, and I've seen these sights before. I was like, just F my life.
I don't know. It was all right for some. I mean, I'd never been there before, so it was handy. Because you drove up, didn't you? You drove to Ullapool.
I drove up from what? Because I was in school in the morning, and then drove up to Ullapool, and left the car there and then drove home on was it the Sunday we got back? We drove up. We went up on the Friday and came back on the Sunday.
Yes. Because was it 5 o'clock ferry back over or something? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah. But we went for a tour around basically top end of Lewis.
That was the first outing of these stupid bunnets.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what? My stuff's still here.
Is it? I've got rid of mine. I handed mine back at the open march. I was like, there you go.
Come and pick it up. They never bothered. I'm not making any effort. No. However, we digress. We digress. So do you teach anything privately, or is it all just through your work?
It's
teaching?
all just through work now. I did teach privately, but just, with teaching all day for 5 days a week, and then doing, private tuition. I was like, nah. And during the winter, when we've got central groups on, I'm 3 nights a week, most nights, from October right through to the end of March. So I just need to And no, and I'm wanting to do a wee bit more playing and get back into shows and stuff like that again anyway.
Yeah.
So
But,
no, 5 days a week, all day at school is enough at the moment.
aye, which just brings me nicely to I can now play the clip from now on with the musical services. I just like it. I love how the pipe band's involved, the orchestra's involved, the choir's involved. It's just like
Yeah, aye.
like, I'm going to
So
show.
it was a special one.
Aye, so this is just it's a minute long. So yeah, here we go.
I love that.
Aye, it's just so cool. I love when they're on the xylophone and they're dun, 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 and the girl singing away. I thought, she's really in.
It was a good night. That was a good night. That was
Yeah.
one of our. That was at the end of March, so that was our spring concerts just before we take them to music camp.
Right. Yeah.
So, aye, it was good. That's one of Iona's arrangements.
Yes.
Like, can you do this one for me? She's like, oh, I'm not really feeling that. I'm like, trust me, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So,
Aye. Yeah.
aye.
I bet the audience are giving it loudly. I know.
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a standing ovation.
Aye.
And then went on and did it again. So we did it twice that night. And both times got a standing ovation and loads of cheers. And I think the video that went along with it on the screen at the back really kind of set it off, because it was like a sort of music service and what we'd done through the years type thing. And just, so we managed to include everybody, even from years gone past, whether they were actually playing on that stage or not. They were still somewhere in that performance, which was good.
Very good. Aye. Yeah, because obviously I shortened the clip there for that. But there is one part of the clip from the main clip where one of the male conductors, he's dancing side to side, and I should include that, because that's the love of music. It's passionate. I'm just going to enjoy this. I'm just going to run with it. Just going to run with it.
Yeah. Oh, there was lots of tears that night as well. It was quite an emotional one.
Aye, absolutely. Aye, but yeah, that's a credit to everybody, the hard work everybody put in for that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Aye. So it doesn't just happen with one person. It's a full team effort.
Yeah, absolutely.
From the staff and the kids.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to be on board for it to work.
Aye, most definitely.
And we've got a great team that we work with at Percussionist. They're such a good team of tutors.
Yeah.
That it works. Some of us are a bit mental, like, can you say, can we do this? Can we do that? And it's new stuff as well. So, always try to develop new stuff and get that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a good thing too, like, because a lot of people they get the misconception that they see xylophone, they just think it's orchestra and it's just classical music. They didn't realize there's a lot of funky stuff. And, an instrument's an instrument. If you learn the notes, you'll play it. You'll play it, and it's great.
And the thing is, we've got piano players that are in the ensemble as well, because the xylophone and that, it's all the same layout as a piano. So the only thing we really need to kind of work on a wee bit is their technique. But if they're on easier parts, then we can work on that, because they've got the layout. They can read bass clef, treble clef, so they've got all the skills from their piano lessons. And we can then work with the mallet technique, and we've had a few piano players that have been in the band, and I've loved it. And I've
Yeah.
then came onto my timetable for actual lessons as well.
Right. Yeah.
And
how long is the timetable? How long do they get?
my lessons are 25 minutes.
Is that it?
So 25 minutes a week with me. Some of the beginners, I take up to 2 in a group just for logistics, but depending on instruments, we can take up to 6.
Right.
But because we are sharing a drum kit or a xylophone or that, it's more practical to have 2. 3 if it's primaries at a push.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because any more that would just be mayhem.
But then when they get a bit more advanced, or some folks start practicing more than others, so they're making more progress, it's a bit more tricky. So sometimes you do have to go down to individual lessons, but it's a 25-minute lesson a week,
right?
So that I can fit as many folk in as possible.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's 25 minutes, 25 minutes, 25 minutes, and there's no, like if classroom teachers will have a free period off here and there, we didn't get that. We're just straight through. Obviously break time when the kids are out at break, but lunch times as well. I mean, on a Tuesday, I'm lucky if I get half an hour for my lunch because I'm traveling between schools. And I'm thinking to myself, I could fit an extra lesson in there because it only takes me half an hour to get to that school and I only really need 10 minutes to eat my lunch. So I suppose I can be my own worst enemy sometimes, but if it gives more people a chance to learn an instrument, then I'll do it.
Yeah, you'd be scoffing, like you say, you're scoffing on the go.
Aye.
On the go. Yeah. But I thought lessons were longer. I thought it's going to they were like a double period, it'd be an hour, and and again that's more. That says more about about the whole teaching thing, and that 25 minutes thing, and for them to turn out the way they do, it's phenomenal. It's clever. It's very clever. Certainly more people definitely need to appreciate it more.
Yeah, and I think having the bands and the orchestras in the evenings during the winter complements their lessons. So it's kind of part of their tuition as well because the tutors are there. So we're helping them with their skills and life skills as well, of playing in a team and in a group and in an orchestra, and just getting them out the house and off their bloody computers.
Yeah,
their phones for an hour and a half as well. So I'm a great believer that the bands and orchestras are every bit as important for tuition as the actual lesson.
Absolutely. I would totally agree with that. Yeah, because once they get into that band, that's it. It gives them that extra incentive. It's definitely.
And it gives some of the other ones a purpose if they've not got much else going on, or they've not found what their goal or whatever they're wanting to do, or they're struggling a wee bit at school. If they come to band or orchestra, they've got something that they're going for, and then when they've got the concert at the end of all the rehearsals, it's a sense of achievement because they get to play in Perth Concert Hall, so it's a massive stage,
big venue,
and the whole atmosphere for it can be life-changing for some of these youngsters.
Yes. Now, something for you, suppose personally, if you could play a certain venue anywhere in the world, where would it be and who with?
Well, I don't actually know. It used to be when I was a kid, I used to want to play with Status Quo.
Okay, right, yeah.
But not so much now because I've done Status Quo tribute acts and that. So I don't actually know because I've played quite a lot of good venues. I don't know, just probably, if I had to do it, like if I was younger, definitely play with a signed band. I mean, believe it or not, I really like dance music, electronic stuff.
You're a strange character, eh? Should have known when they're here.
I always have since I was a kid. So I quite like some of these, dance, the actual orchestras, but they're playing the dance music in the clubs and big venues with the laser lighting and all that. I'd quite like to do something like that.
Yeah. You've just reminded me of something like that. I follow these guys on TikTok, and it's called Chav Brass.
Oh,
so,
there's
I love it. They're dressed up, the trackies on it, and it's like, and like I really enjoy that. You know, they're
They're
giving it a
brilliant.
laugh. And I mean, yes, it's a lot the same tune, just get people in. But do you know what? But it needs that. It just needs that, and and I like it. I think so. Yeah, because when I first seen that this is going to be a nightmare, I thought, no, that's very clever. Yeah, they're very very clever. Yeah, I do enjoy that.
I mean, I quite. And the thing is, that when I was at college and played with a samba band, we did Glastonbury. So maybe graduating to the main stage at Glastonbury with somebody would be good.
Yeah.
Because it was just like the cabaret stage. Well, just like the cabaret. You know, it was the cabaret stage that we played on, and it's Glastonbury. And I did that every 97 to 2000, so 4 times. Orchestra wise, you know, I've played in the Albert Hall 3 times, so you know I've done that as well. Which is just like a big shed. I didn't particularly enjoy the acoustics and the great experience. And great to say that I've done it, but with a brass band, it's hard going because you can't hear it. You can't hear anything. It's just like you think you're playing on your own. Sometimes you're like, "What is going on here?" We're kind of spoiled because we get to play in Perth Concert Hall a lot, and that's where the best venues going. So you know, we're lucky and we're spoiled that we have such a good venue that we're in there regularly playing.
Yeah. Pretty good. I think you go somewhere like you could say a venue somewhere like Kinross Town Hall or something like that.
No, I went to my first rave in Kinross Town Hall and it's now flats.
He was rave. That's a long time ago. That's 30 odd years ago.
Yeah. I didn't even think I liked it. It was too loud. It was like, gee, and it was too hot and stuffy. It was like, who even has a rave in Kinross?
That was just making me think that just now. Like, so, see, when you're listening to other music, do you hear lyrics or do you just hear the melody?
It depends on the music. I mean, I'm a big fan of musical theatre stuff as well. I love shows. So it depends. Like the musical theatre stuff, I'll have a listen to the lyrics and you know the music that's going on. And it depends on why I'm listening to the music too, because if I'm listening to it for a specific reason that I have to learn it, then I'm tuned in to what the drums and stuff are doing. Whereas if I'm just listening to it, I mean, at night time when I'm falling asleep, I've got one of those Bluetooth headbands that's got the speakers.
Right.
And I listen to my yoga music.
Oh dear.
I do, and it's like piano music, but it's piano covers. So it's like Tears for Fears, like Rule the World and all that, but it's like slowed down and melodic piano stuff, and I really like that, and that helps me fall asleep.
Yeah, that's it. It's no ABBA, but all day.
Oh, by the way, Eurovision tomorrow.
Oh no! See, I was at Eurovision last year, Liverpool. But I used to like it as a Mulder. Like, I just can't be bothered with it.
It's on for a long time, and I tell you, they've cut Casualty off for it. So I'm not getting my Saturday night Casualty because they've put the bloody Eurovision Song Contest on.
Yeah.
On for about 4 hours. It's for about 8 o'clock till midnight. And it runs over most of the time. Of course.
Yeah. But
I quite like Eurovision. I quite like it.
It's an experience. Like I say, I was at it last year. We were working at it, and it's an experience. A total experience. Yeah. And I'd only been to Liverpool once before that, and I'll tell you what, I love Liverpool. Love it. It's a great city.
I've never been. That's one place I've never been.
So friendly. Yeah. Something like Glasgow. You know, people speak to each other. You know, a big difference. Sense of humour similar. Very similar. Right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play some of the photos for the slideshow that I've done, and we'll just talk about some of them just to kill off like the last few minutes. So what have I done with? Oh, guess what? They're all you.
Oh, woo. Oh, that one. Oh, diesel. There's some people no longer with us on that one now.
Right, yeah, so I'm looking at this one here. So clearly, I had to think, where were you? And it took me a minute or two to find you.
No
then
way.
Bottom right, isn't it? Is that you bottom right?
Front? I see the guy with the moustache.
Yes.
So I'm to his
left.
His
right. Yeah. So you're so front
Aye.
row, too long from the bass drum. That's you.
Yes.
Yeah, because I thought at first the wee one there, I thought, no, that's a wee boy, isn't it?
Aye.
Yeah, aye. And so that was what Kinross District. So
Kinross District.
when was that? 1960 when?
19 early 90s.
Right. She was.
91 I went to the high school, so it must have been 93, 4-ish maybe.
Yeah. Yep. Right.
Somewhere around about that time.
Right. I'm just going to the next one. Eventually. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's real life.
Yeah.
That was so that was my last chemotherapy session in 2014. So on the 2nd of July this year, I'll be 10 years finished chemotherapy.
Ideal. That's
there
a date.
We go. So that's
and ironically, that's not a date I'll forget because that was the day I got married.
That was the 2nd of July was my last chemo that I had, and I'd had it from January right through until the July, and that was the only stay in hospital that I'd ever needed. I'd been back and forward for jaw pain and stuff, but I'd been in the hospital for about 3 days, and it was just right at the very end of the treatment. So I worked all through my treatment. Don't know how I managed it. But I kept working. And was the manager of the European Youth Band at that point, and then went to two music camps as well. No idea how I managed that, but I was determined. It wasn't going to beat me.
Aye, absolutely. And then I think the next one is one.
I think that's Meat Curry. Oh God, that was just a few weeks ago. We're getting our website up and running.
This just gets me. I'm thinking these drums are just like, one at your feet that you're just about falling over, and the other ear, and it's like, good God, yeah.
So rhythm. That's a rhythm wave. That's the sort of Brazilian. I don't want to say samba because it's not really samba that we do, but it's more sort of like African Brazilian beat type stuff.
Yep.
Jesus, there we go.
There's obviously this one where we both are featured in this one. That's you.
You look crabbit.
Am I ever anything else?
Look at Jerry, he was crabbit as well.
Yeah. And that was just the 3-piece rolls. Yeah.
I think was that the first rehearsal that we'd ever had?
I think so.
You've got a Christmas jumper on, so it must. I think that was the December.
Listen, I wear that Christmas jumper anytime. If I need a jumper on, I don't care if it's Christmas or not, I'll put it on. But yeah, I think God, there's 10 of us there, 10 snare drummers there. Aye.
I don't think they've got that anymore.
No, but that was quite a noisy in there because I think the next one's the same photograph or another photograph, another angle. Aye. Yeah, just try to get everything right. So yeah. So
climbing the hills.
What is this one about then?
So that was I don't even know which hill that was. So I've got these exercise classes that I go to, and I go to Slimming World as well. And some of the lassies that do both were hill climb. They were like climbing Monroes, and it had started for a sort of charity stuff for a wee girl who got knocked down by a car. And sadly no longer with us. So they had then done all that in Nevis, and then I kind of started. So I was just climbing a few Monroes, and that was at the top of one of them. I can't even remember which one that was. But I've done about 2, 3 maybe Monroes. It's absolutely brutal.
I can imagine. I'm kind of.
I hated every minute of it going up it, but it's worth it for the views. See, once you get to the top, you're like, that's it. It's worth it.
See, that's why I got a drone for. That's why I got a drone. I can stay in the ground and just send the drone. It's a lot easier.
Aye. Oh, I love my drone. I've got a wee drone as well.
Aye. See, there's someone. Aye. Yeah.
Love it.
What's next
one? When I don't crash it into the roof, I love it.
Now this one, like, because we know there's banter with this one, like Miss Paterson in a dress. Oh, wait a minute. Can I sneak back to that one? Can I sneak back? I'm gonna have to try and sneak back to it. Yes, I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye.
So the German Oompa band.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing
the most uncomfortable costume ever.
It's like similar to the 1700s, isn't it? Working a
Oh,
bath.
it's horrendous. But I mean, they all wear like all the guys wear like lederhosen and stuff. So that was kind of the. I mean, I'd rather. I used to wear the lederhosen as well, and they weren't comfy either. So then I thought, right, I'll upgrade to a dress and try and be a bit feminine, but it just wasn't happening. And that was from this year at the music festival.
Right.
The bloody adjudicator. He's a great. He's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
So all the wee beginner snare drums didn't make a very good job of it.
Right.
No dynamics of that. Hadn't done hardly any practice. So he then decided that I would demonstrate how it was supposed to go. And put me right under pressure. So
yeah. So you feel the thrust. All right. Good though.
No, it was good. It was later on when he said with the grade 5 xylophone, he was like, "Can you like play that?" I'm like, "No." That's the school this year's school leavers from the percussion ensemble. There's one missing from that photo, but they're all the kids that are leaving the percussion ensemble this year. And face is a bit red there because it was after we just performed that From On. So we were all a bit emotional and stuff. And then Iona, who does all the arrangements and works with us as well, she's actually a former pupil too. I taught her when she was in 6th year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Clever.
And she's now back. She teaches bass and percussion.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And just indulges all my mentalness.
Yeah.
And does a lot of the video editing as well. So between us, we tag team it a wee bit.
Yeah. Because like I said, like on the YouTube description of this video, I've put links onto Iona's arrangements. You know,
people can, so if anybody wants to buy them, is there anybody actually watching this?
Yes, there is actually. Yeah, there has been.
Right. Yeah, so if anybody wants to buy any of our percussion ensemble arrangements, they're on that website. So that was after I got out the dress.
All right, yeah.
It was like, take a proper photo, please.
Yeah, that was more like Miss Paterson. Yeah,
John Sandwich, Miss Paterson.
That's something I've never seen Kevin and Perry, but do you know who kicked it off? It's Jamie Sinclair.
Oh, he actually is a former pupil as well, and brought me a jam sandwich to youth orchestra one night.
Aye.
He's like, "What bread do you like?" I was like, "Warburton's white bread at that time, please." And it was homemade jam, and he wrapped it in tin foil and then wrapped it in Christmas paper and presented me with this Christmas present. I was like, "Jambo, I can't believe it." So, he's still playing in the pipe band.
Is he still at Pitlochry?
I still at Pitlochry.
Yeah. Because I didn't see him. Or did I see him when I was up there in September? I can't remember. If I seen him, I would have spoke to him. Of course I did. Of course I spoke to him because I spoke to his dad, I know, and his sister. Yeah. Aye, because that's when I came back from that got COVID. Yeah. Apparently the Swiss band had been rife with.
No,
Pitlochry over. No, sorry, the Pitlochry band had been over in Switzerland doing something, and they came back with they were rife with.
That's right, because I've got a couple of pupils that went over to Switzerland and could they make something that we had on, I think. Because I teach a couple of the kids there. Not pipe band drumming, but percussion.
Yeah. So what's next in the pipeline? You can continue there, or is there more ambitious stuff? Or
hopefully continuing there with Perth and Ross, but with a bit more ambition.
Right. Okay.
So that's all I'm going to say at the moment. We'll see how it goes.
Aye. Okay. Apart from the kit stuff, and you still play the band as well.
The what band?
Is it a Cayley band?
Yeah. I mean, we've not done a lot of gigs for a long time because Iona's in the Cayley band, and Craig, who plays piano, he's just been promoted to head of music at Perth Academy. So, so everybody's kind of going, their own separate ways. So. There's not been a gig for that for a long time.
Which is a shame.
I know, because I love playing in Cayley bands. If anybody wants to book me for their Cayley band gig, I'm up for it. Or any theatre stuff, I'm up for that as well. That's the kind of playing direction I think I'm going to head in for or get back into anyway. And the odd orchestral stuff. mainly kit stuff and snare drum, bit of timps, not so much the tuned side of stuff, but stuff where I can get more confidence in that again and get back into it.
Yeah.
And then teach and just keep doing what I do and hopefully climb the ladder a wee bit. That's the goal anyway. Because I did a course, an online course at the end of last year for the principles of team leading. So like all health and safety and, you know, leading a team and all that kind of stuff. So just to get a wee bit more background knowledge on that, which I had anyway, but it was just to have something on paper and learn a wee bit more. So that's the plan anyway. Keep going to my classes to keep fit and losing weight and getting healthy. And just
everything I've done. Although
taking it small steps, one day at a time. That's it.
I don't know what I've done recently, but I've lost a wee bit of weight, but it was never intentional. I think it's just because of the better weather now. I'm just like outside out in the garden all the time, so it's like
Well, I train 4 nights a week in the summer months when I've not got band on. So Mondays boot camp and yoga, Tuesdays boot camp and yoga, Wednesdays a boot camp, and Thursdays boot camp and yoga.
It's the boot camp thing. It's like nah.
Well, it's horrendous at the time, but it's so worth it, and it helps me my mental health and that as well. It keeps it keeps that kind of on an even keel, because it's hard. I mean, it's hard times out there just now for everybody.
Sure, it is.
It's tough going. Life's tough now. So
totally. Well, that's good. We've done an hour, so we'll wind this up now. So it's like for the people watching. So
I don't know what happened with that computer.
I don't know.
That iMac.
I think it's ready for
the iPad's working fine. I'll remember that for the next time if I get invited back.
I might get to host it. I might just say that to Lynsey, find somebody and I'll just set you off on it. Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Absolutely. Right, for those lovely people that's watching, we're going to call this an end. Lynsey will stay where she's at for a minute because we'll have a debrief. And for those that have watched, thank you for watching. I hope I haven't bored you too much because this is all new to me. I'm used to. It's better when it's difficult when it's a video chat, you know, because you're not there and there's other Do you know what I mean?
And I've just winged the whole thing, so.
Basically, what she really is, she's actually a road sweeper.
I'm a Johnny.
So for you lovely people that are on YouTube, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you again. Thank you.